Alright, I've just downloaded Civ VI. We're going to play a standard map, Deity difficulty, random leaders, re-rolling France. Perfect.
I am qualified to assist you in all matters related to ruling our civilization.
2 bits of good news to kick us off. 1, my advisor is from the north, and 2, she knows a little bit about astrology, as most people from the north do. Let's do some research so that we fully understand astrology. We've only got little bits in Pisces so far. In 3960 BC, Gandhi and the people of India founded Oppenheimer. While the finishing touches were made on the city, Gandhi heard a strange voice echoing through his mind.
Be kind, Gandhi Bapu, and you will find yourself surrounded by true friends.
Gandhi was ready to heed the advice of Sean Bean, so he began to search for friends by making scouts so that he could scour the earth. Before long, they made contact with the Russians. The leader of the Russians was a fancy pirate who kept asking Gandhi if he could hear that ticking noise too. He asked Gandhi if he was fond of art, to which Gandhi replied, "Yeah, definitely, 100%, what is that?" Gandhi stepped away from the meeting none the wiser, but he did have an idea of what if you put stuff on paper with symbols or drawings and used that to communicate between people. He rushed back to the captain and explained his idea, proposing that the 2 nations could form a strong bond together. The captain rudely replied that an old friend is better than 2 new ones, but it's turn 6, so how many old friends can you possibly have?
Our city-state neighbours have made a request of us.
The people of Zanzibar formally requested that Gandhi create a boat. Gandhi was not convinced that this would be a great use of his time. In other news, the scouts were finished, and in more important news, scouts in Civ VI get a little dog. Look at the little dog. Where's he going? Gandhi started hiring builders so he could make some farms to get this wheat to make this bread. He'd just finished making things up about stars, so he was feeling pretty hungry. Having explored every inch of the cosmos, Gandhi decided to turn his attention to what lay beneath. This was particularly important because Russia had begun expanding, so Gandhi knew that any new cities may well need to be constructed underground. The Russian leader sent a cruel message criticizing India's lack of science and art. With a temper like that, he was almost certainly a Leo. After the meeting, Gandhi's advisor had an idea.
Enacting new policies in our government can be of great benefit.
Gandhi said, "That's a great idea. India definitely needs some rules. Okay, rule number 1, exploring is sick. Rule number 2, I'm the God King. No further questions." The scouts sent word that they had discovered a new continent, and I know you're doing your best, boys, but that's just a river. Oh no, barbarians! Phew, that was a close one. It was just a nearby city-state cosplaying as barbarians. Meanwhile, back in Oppenheimer, the builders had finished constructing a farm. It brought a tear to Gandhi's eye, giving him insight about irrigation. Oh no, barbarians! Gandhi sent his strongest and bravest boys to deal with the invading threat, but one of the horses got away. Like all horses, the one that got away was a snivelling little grass, and it told the other barbarians where the Indian army was. We can safely add horses to the list of animals I will never respect. Gandhi had figured out pots, and he went back to the Russians, asking whether if he paid them and let them use some of his pots, they might be friends with him. They said niet. Gandhi reflected on Sean Bean's advice.
Keep the Indian people safe.
But making friends is difficult when your only neighbours are barbarians and Disney villains. And also crabs, who are hard to befriend because they never come out of their Gandhi's advisor recommended a great spot for India's second city, and I was forced to follow her advice because YouTube comments hadn't been invented yet. I was confident that the AI advisor would be 100% reliable. Learning that there were diamonds nearby, Gandhi founded a pantheon that revolved around mining. Through the power of crystals, he would heal the world. Step 1 to healing the world: erect a monument to Sean Bean, granting him unnaturally long life. Step 2, found the city of Madura. Found the city of Manhattan. Oh, hello, who's this? Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Well, listen, if you want to be friends, come look at my wondrous empire. Pretty nice empire I've got here. Would be a shame if something were to happen to it. Gandhi sent the Americans a good chunk of gold, but they still didn't want to be friends for some reason. Sounds like somebody doesn't want to learn how to put up a fence. Almost immediately after discovering India, America denounced Gandhi, claiming that he lived without dignity, which is pretty big talk from the country that invented the Segway. Gandhi tried to make a deal to smooth things over with the Americans, but he realised he didn't really have anything to offer, so he began construction on a holy site next to a big lake that was apparently a natural wonder. I mean, there's lakes everywhere, don't know what makes this one special. It's hardly a city made of gold, is it? Gandhi had to admit that when he saw the Americans sending troops around, he found it a little bit scary. It was not quite as scary as the barbarians that were descending from the sky in pillars of light. In any case, Gandhi said to his people, we should probably learn about archery. The city of Oppenheimer was throwing a tantrum because they wanted more amenities. Since the advisor hadn't told Gandhi what these were, he decided to ignore this issue. Sounds like more of a you problem than a me problem. The American army showed up on India's borders, and Russia sent a really rude message to Gandhi. Can't you two get back to being mortal enemies for 1 minute? Please. Gandhi knew that India needed to show off its strength, so he sent his forces to go and kill some barbarians. It didn't go very well because I didn't know that boats could do this. Whoops. It's alright, Ted, we've got the amenities crisis under control, actually. We can handle this in-house, there's no need to kill everyone. I wanted to avoid this, you know, but your idea of peace left me no choice. As well as America, Geneva also declared war on India, which was pretty unconventional. And the Russian leader added that he would catch Peter Pan even if it cost him his life. Things weren't looking great, but thankfully, I'd played Civilization before and I had an old trick up my sleeve. Oh no. And so it was that the Indian capital was liberated by the US Army. But there was still hope, for the people of India still held the great noble city of Manhattan, a jewel in a sea of misery, and the home of Spider-Man. It would stand... Oh, never mind.
Let's go!
Alright, thanks Sean, that should be everything. Oh my god, he's done it again. Did you not hear me tell his agent that we wanted him alive? For like the whole thing? Alright, I'll get the mop. You get the bin bags. Jesus!